Alright, new recording started. I'm just playing this game. Thinking about putting on a YouTube video while I play. And I think I probably won't play too long, but we'll see how it goes. This game's a little bit addictive. Uh,
Doing all of these things while fighting for the people who are often left behind, workers who secured more than $10 million for 10
I kind of messed up here because I forgot that this game's the time. I should have paused it while I was setting up the YouTube video. Let's just skip. Okay, there we go.
Should be left behind.
So is Zorn's version of socialism a version that you could get on board with, since he's really focused on the affordability pieces that you
I'm encouraged by what he's doing. And I think that form of trying to get things done, that's the other problem. So much of the left, and certainly we experienced this in Seattle, became an academic exercise. They were spending all day long talking about, the history of racism, as opposed to going out in the community and saying, these are people who've been discriminated against. Let's get them access to capital so they can start businesses. Let's get them access to capital so they can get homes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's do workforce development so they could get jobs. It became an academic exercise about the history of the U.S. and about, are we, just an irreversible, bigoted, racist. That's all interesting. What are we doing to govern effectively? And actually, everything that Donnie said right there, I'm encouraged. If you govern unfocused, okay, Bhaskar Sankara. I'm about to come out and be like, I'm a Bhaskar style DSA, actually. I like to talk about how America had a lot of racist beginnings, but also it overcame racism. Very diverse country. We got to talk about the positives here. So
All right, let's go.
Back in the day. Look at this guy. Dude, come on. How can you not? Dude. How can you not look at where the conversation is headed and not feel at least a sense of confidence that we are having a tremendous impact? You got Godfather of capitalism. Now you're talking about sewer socialism, man. The fact that he knows what that is huge. Like, the fact that he's pretending to be in favor of at least socialist governance is this is unthinkable. Had mayors who were socialists would have been doing work. Yeah, this sellout as soon as Dick Rodriguez was talking about sewer socialism. It's like,
Let's go.
can you imagine?
We need more fuel.
That's great. As an academic exercise, when you want to explain to me the history of oppression, when you say things to me like, well, that person can make that argument because of the power dynamic, and when we operate in this weird intellectual world that's got nothing to do with practical problem solving and logic, okay, that's where I have a problem. Joe Little of Boston also, on the left, governing really well. There are other folks who haven't governed so well because they got trapped in this sort of ideological thing where the whole focus was on oppressed and oppression as opposed to actually governing well. So yes, I am encouraged by what I've seen in the last 6-7 months in Donnie's term. I'm a working class blue collar kid. I'm in favor of economic populism. And a socialist would come at that level. Now, I think you also have to recognize that private industry has to be part of it. Okay? We have to have business.
All right, I think we're good.
Yeah.
That's good. Money's not going up as fast as I'd like. I don't know.
Of course, the last 50 years.
Yeah. We just got to get, dude. I was just thinking to myself, I was like, the problem is corporate capitalism. The problem is corporatism. That's what it is. The problem is the guardrails.
I think we put the treadmill up.
Thanks, man. We gotta reform it. We gotta reform it. You're right.
Oops.
Ethical capitalism.
I meant to spend some money here, but that's fine, I guess.
We did. We took the guardrails off capitalism. So let's put those guardrails back on. And if you want to call it socialism, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. Let's govern more effectively.
So let me ask you then. Josh Gottman said, if you're a socialist, you're not a Democrat. It sounds like you don't agree with that.
Yeah, well, but again, the problem with this is the whole apologize thing. You throw a term out that means 15 different things to 15 different people, and then you're like, do you support this? It's like, well, which one?
Dog, you're the abolish ICE guy.
You was the one who did it.
You're the guy. You said it too, man.
15 versions of you talk.
He is supporting, but and others have said basically, we don't want these
Skip.
people in the party. We don't want to share the tent with them. That doesn't sound like you're in that place.
I'm not. Now, I think we ought to be able to have a conversation about the issues. I was sick to death and trying to say, hey, look, on immigration, we need to show that we are in favor of enforcement. Well, you're just giving me Republican talking points.
You didn't say that.
Yeah.
No. What I said is that when you take the most radical position of one person or from a policy platform and you paint with a broad brush, you're handing Republicans a talking, well, this is what these people are. And what I'm saying is that you could easily be put into that camp, given some of your positions that you continue to hold. For example, whether you want to call it dismantling ICE or reorganizing ICE, whether it's for agency or whatever you want to call it, you just start getting rid of ICE.
It's not actually a joke. It's how are you going to enforce it? What sort of enforcement are you going to do? And it's going back to the Justice Department makes sense to me. And, ICE would know.
All right, this is going pretty good. Let's just skip it.
Could you actually to that would be, well, if you're just going to do enforcement, why not just keep ICE and reform ICE, right? There's a group of people there radical to get rid of ICE. We need to just reform it, vet better, etc. Why do you think that it needs to be taken apart? Because obviously I agree.
What Trump has done with it, I think just puts it in the category. And I don't know, theoretically, within the Department of Homeland Security, I suppose you could have immigration enforcement that made sense. But I think at this point we need a clean break. And look, the biggest thing that I want about this is the ability to have a conversation, all right? And this is my biggest problem. I have been unable to hold a town hall meeting for a year because...
And why? Because people keep yelling at you about your inconsistent Israel positions? Yeah, it's the left's fault that your constituents demand answers to your wishy-washy perspective on an issue that is, fairly black and white. It's genocide.
A bunch of leftists show up and scream at me and don't let me.
Oh, dude, that sucks, man. How about you build some kind of backbone and stand on your principles? If your principles are pro-genocide, then
I didn't know I could push into this thing.
Perhaps the problem, and this is
Okay.
endless Democrat, is that
there we go.
the voters are far more woke than you are. It's a vote for you either
Okay.
or because you dupe them into believing.
Yeah, look at it. Now it's up to
caring
28.
about those values. And perhaps now, when there are real alternatives that fit that standard far better, you guys are freaking the fuck out because it makes you look like a fraud. This is the issue for a lot of Democrats. They keep complaining about the voters not voting for them and voting for someone else. That's all this is about. Like, every day they're like, oh, well, we have to spend a lot of money on our primaries. And it's like,
No.
you don't have to.
All the money's pouring in the wrong direction.
You could just govern effectively. You could actually govern
Why did this happen?
that you claimed you would fight for, and no one would have this issue.
I gotta be better at that.
A left position against AOC? Is AOC getting outflanked by her left in her district? Is Bernie Sanders? He's 850 years old. Is Bernie Sanders getting primary successfully? Is Rashida Tlaib getting primary? Is Ilhan Omar getting primary?
Nope.
Perhaps. There's a reason. Just be a public servant and do the bidding of the masses, the people that voted for you. And then you won't have to demand millions of dollars from the Democratic Party's coffers to protect your cushy sinecure. That's what's so funny about this whole internal fissure in the Democratic Party. Like, oh, these left flank candidates, these insurgencies, what are we gonna do? They're coming after us. Oh, we gotta spend a lot of money that we would normally spend in the general. We're wasting money. It's like, you don't have to do that. Get your 874-year-old ass to fundraise and to go out and do town halls then. Why don't you do that? Why don't you build your own movement. Why?
There we go. Now we're cooking with gas.
And demand that Hakeem
Woo.
Jeffries bail your ass out.
Sound is right, as usual.
Correction, the last emails that was 7:24 a.m. this
We're close, but not quite there.
Man, look at that! 7:24 in the a.m. Step away. You're about to be cuffed.
And what does that mean, get him judged? That could be you. How would you like to be held in contempt of court for something you didn't even know you were supposed to do? And then we write, get him judged. What's up, people? Mark Bryan of the Husband Wife Law Team. A little bit different out here because it's not just someone talking about the law. It's not even just a lawyer talking about the law. I'm actually a trial lawyer. I go to court. I fight for you. That's what we do here at the Husband and Wife Law Team. And I always try to give some takes on things you guys ask for. First of all, let me say this. Thank you very much. Thank you for all subscribers.
This guy really have a wife.
YouTube's gonna have to set us some sort of record of all time for legal content on our way. So if you would not subscribe right now, I want you to know that you're in a minority.
I've never seen this guy's
now.
wife.
That's what it looks like.
I think he probably killed her.
For those who subscribe, thank you. Who not subscribed, please hit
That
the
is a
button.
hilarious
Also,
joke.
Guys, I don't know what you want to hear.
It's not misogynistic.
I need to know
It's
your thoughts.
anti-misogynistic,
What you think,
if anything.
what you'd like to hear more.
All right, now we're in business. Let's go.
Kind of made himself by his own choices, and maybe even he wants to be talked about. We got a judge in Texas, really out there right now on social media. A lot of people talking about. People ask me to comment. And we found a whole string from the courtroom of what the judge had to say. So I'm going to share my thoughts, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Here we go. Judge Miller on. What you got to say?
Actually, don't. If you just tried yeah, should be. Well, why did I make this up? 5 seconds. What's it? You have to go live. You just joined. Okay, yeah, you did. Okay. False alarm. No, it wasn't a false alarm. False negative. Very nice. Don't go around. I'm serious about this. It was happening. I can't. I understand. Just say I fixed it, so we're good. Thank you. Get out of my courtroom.
That's a lot of money.
I can supervise. Jesus. Nice. Stupid times.
All right, guys, listen up.
33,900.
About
But I need 32,000 to get more than this.
That's be number one. And number two, the role of the judge in our system. Before we get into number three, what we just saw there, because almost everyone's probably like, you got to be flipping kidding. So let's go to number one. Your ignorance is putting people in jail who shouldn't be there. Might be keeping people out of jail who should be there. Might be taking money from people who shouldn't have money taken from them. Yes, judges matter. They are the referees of our system. Imagine you had, just to make an example, a game you love watching and officials, referees, umpires, whatever, who had no idea what they were doing or did it all wrong and were totally biased. That's what happens if you put a judge on the bench that shouldn't be there. We're not talking yet about this judge. Take the elections of judges seriously in those parts of the country, like in Harris County, Texas, and other places, that elect judges, because it does matter. So that's number one. Be careful. Your ignorance could actually come back to haunt you or someone you care about or your community. Okay, number two, the role of a judge in our system. Yes, it's to get it right. But you are also, when you're up there on the
Man, I'm
bench,
so sleepy.
you are an example. You stand for something bigger than yourself. How you are viewed, how you interact with others,
Skip.
your judicial temper.
Man, this is slow.
It's not just your ruling, it's how you conduct.
It's gonna take a long time to get
What we
this.
just saw here, now we'll get into it.
All right,
That
let's
would've
just.
been relatively rude. Now I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. I was a little unsure here. I thought there was some miscommunication. I thought the IT guy was just trying to.
I can't even afford any of this
I
stuff.
thought the judge took it seriously, but that doesn't mean he's a
Maybe
bad
now's
guy,
the time
right?
to-
Bad dude. Doesn't mean that necessarily. We don't know.
restart.
It was a misunderstanding, and you're just standing somewhere. And you're not
43p.
It happens. It stinks, but it's part of life.
All right, let's reset.
When you are a judge sitting on the
You were
bench,
prestige. Now you can spend your hard-earned coin on some prestigious upgrades.
Sent this guy out and went
Prestigious shop.
because all he was saying is, I don't see a problem. He didn't call you names. He didn't imply bad names. I'm going to say this. I don't want to pile on at this
I don't
point.
know.
It's
I already-
the only video I've
wait,
seen.
what?
We all have bad days. Also, I don't know what the IT expert.
Oh, I could go back to lobby that way.
Says, but you see the judge watching him. Then he says, "Let me see your supervisor." So I'm not willing to assume that that guy didn't say something.
Right. So I should get some custody stuff.
When you're on the bench in the room, it stands for something both ways. We owe respect to our judges that's different than the guy in the street. At least
right.
when they're in the room.
I want 45. I want these three.
I'm the first one to admit I want to say this, but I feel like many times I say something and we keep playing and I'm like, I take it back. I just want to be on the record that as of right now, I've seen just this one clip, and I want to give the judge the benefit of the doubt. We didn't hear what happened off camera. It did feel like miscommunication. They are the referees of our room of what the judge had to say, so I'm going to share my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Here we go. Judge Miller on. What you got to say?
What is it?
Yeah, should be. Sorry. Did I make this up?
Skip.
You don't have to go far.
Skip.
You're disjoined. Okay, and you're good. Yeah. False alarm? No, it wasn't a false alarm. False negative? Very nice. Don't joke around. I'm serious about this. It was happening. I understand. Just saying, I can't see it, sir. We're good. Thank you. Get out of my courtroom.
I'm confused. What was that?
I get supervised. Jesus Christ. Sick of hearing this bullshit.
All right, guys, listen up. Let's have a discussion about how your ignorance is hurting people. That's for me, number one. And number two, the role of a judge in our system. Before we get into number three, what we just saw there, because almost everyone's probably like, you got to be flipping kids. So let's go to number one.
Confused. What was that?
Putting people in jail who shouldn't be there. Might be keeping people out of jail who should be there. Might be taking money from people who shouldn't have money taken from them.
I'm
Yes,
confused.
judges matter. They are the referee.
What happened there?
By his own choices, and maybe even he wants to be talked about. We got a judge in Texas, really out there right now on social media. A lot of people talking about, people asking to comment. Then we found a whole string from the courtroom of what the judge had to say. So I'm going to share my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Here we go. Judge Miller on. What you got to say?
Where's she done? Just trying to bring the audio. Yeah, should be. Sorry. Ryan, did I make this up? 5 seconds. 1 second. You don't have to go far. You're disjoined. Okay, and you're good. Yeah. False alarm? No, it wasn't a false alarm. False negative? Very nice. Don't joke around. I'm serious about this. It was happening. I understand. Say, I can't see it, sir. We're good. Thank you. Get out of my courtroom.
This judge is not.
False negative?
There's words on it.
Don't joke around. I'm serious about this.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to be looking at here.
Say, I can't see it, sir. We're good. Thank you. Get out of my courtroom.
Judge is not done.
I can supervise. Jesus Christ. Sick of times.
All right, guys, listen up. Let's have a discussion about how your ignorance is hurting people. That's going to be number one. Number two, the role of a judge in our system. Before we get into number three, what we just saw there, because almost everyone's probably like, you got to be flipping kids. So let's go to number one. Your ignorance is putting people in jail who shouldn't be there. Might be keeping people out of jail who should be there. Might be taking money from people who shouldn't have money taken from them. Yes, judges matter. They are the referees of our system. Imagine you had, just to make an example, a game you loved watching and officials, referees, umpires, whatever, who had no idea what they were doing or did it all wrong or were totally biased. That's what happens if you put a judge on the bench that shouldn't be there. We're not talking yet about this judge. Take the elections of judges seriously in those parts of the country, like in Harris County, Texas, and other places, that elect judges, because it does matter. So that's number one. Be careful. Your ignorance could actually come back to haunt you or someone you care about or your community. Okay, number two, the role of the judge in our system. Yes, get it right. But you are also, when you're up there on the bench in the room, you are an example. You stand for something bigger than yourself. How you are viewed, how you interact with others, your judicial temperament, it matters. It's not just your ruling. It's not just yourself.
One,
so we just saw
two,
here, now we'll get into it. That
three.
was relatively not to be honest with you, I was a little unsure here. I thought there was some miscommunication. I thought the IT guy was just trying to be lighthearted and joke. I thought the judge took it seriously. But that doesn't mean he's a bad guy, right? A bad dude. It doesn't mean that necessarily. We don't know. If it was a misunderstanding and you're just standing somewhere and you're not wearing the robe, it happens. It stinks, but it's part of life. No big deal. When you are a judge sitting on the bench, robe on, you stand for something bigger than yourself. And you just kind of sent this guy out and went after him. Because all he was saying is, I don't see a problem. He didn't call you names. He didn't imply bad names. I'm going to say this. I don't want to pile on. At this point, this is the only video I've seen. We all have bad days. Also, I don't know what the IT expert, when he's off the bench, says, but you see the judge watching him, then he says, let me see your supervisor. So I'm not willing to assume that guy didn't say something that was super rude or shouldn't have said, because in the same way I'm saying, when you're on the bench in the robe, you stand for something, it stands for something both ways. We owe a respect to our judges that's different than the guy on the street, at least when they're in the
All right,
robe,
let's
judge.
do more fuel.
I am the
Size.
first one to admit I want to say this, but I feel like many times I say something and we keep playing and I'm like, I take it back. I just want to be on the record that as of right now, I've seen just this one clip, and I want to give the judge the benefit of the doubt. We didn't hear what happened off camera. It did feel like miscommunication, where I thought the guy wasn't trying to crack on him at all, but I think he took it that way. I think that was not perfect, but I am not full on attack mode, and now I'm afraid because they have me watching a bunch of clips where we're all about to see it again.
In the business, we call this full shot. Get out of my courtroom now. Mr. Rhodes, tell me why we're here today. You asked for an emergency hearing from my clerk yesterday verbally. Yes, Your Honor. Well, because you requested one, sir. Your Honor, it didn't appear in my hearing yesterday again. Please, I'm waiting.
I don't know who wrote attorney has an attitude. I don't know what I'm missing, but I didn't hear an attorney with that. I saw a judge with an attitude. Now, maybe the judge had a right to have an attitude because we don't know what happened to get here, and he just made it sound like he didn't show up. But attorney has an attitude would be a mislabel, a mischaracterization that makes you wonder who put that up. But
Yeah,
anyway,
these videos are weird. I don't understand what it's telling us.
if you don't show up for something the court has calendared, the court has a right to be upset. Sometimes judges go way too far with that and forget that they were human too, and they have made mistakes too, and there may be no prejudice outside of inconvenience, but it's on the lawyer if you don't show up, whether it was on your calendar or not. Although so far,
Okay, we did it.
have responsibility.
We did
Any
it.
of the other 6 hearings you didn't attend on your calendar?
I don't believe it was 6 months that I missed.
You want to go through the record again?
By the way, do you actually miss 6 hearings ever, let alone with a judge? There's something in your office in terms of how things are being calendared. Something is going wrong. That is highly unusual.
All right, let's do this. I got 8,411 for this level. That's a good start. How am I doing for this stuff? I got 10. I could increase the treadmill.
Here's
I don't know
the
if I
thing,
should.
and I'm speaking generally, because I don't know.
I don't really need the treadmill increased, I don't think.
Judges get overturned. That's the way it works, right? If you're a judge, you give your best ruling. Someone above you in the appellate court or somewhere else has the opportunity to say whether or not you made the ruling right. So generally speaking, saying that you can't overturn me, but here it feels like maybe it's like an end run around that's going on, so it could be a little bit different. But generally, if you're a judge, you should make your best ruling and then defer to the people above you. They have the power to overturn you if that's what they choose to do. By the way, does that even make sense? Overturn you? So I make a call on the field, but they go back to replay in New York and they get to decide whether or not they agree with my ruling. If it happens, it happens. I made the best call I could. I shouldn't even make calls based upon what New York's doing. I should make the right call as I see it and then allow someone else who's got a different role to do their job.
There has been communication between the opposing counsel, in particular, going back and forth to resolve this case. It wasn't until late yesterday, I think attorney Plant really communicated. It wasn't until late yesterday.
By the way, that's a really tough spot that lawyer's in. What's said between you and your client is just for you and your client. If you reveal what's said between you and your client, you may have undone the attorney-client privilege the client's relying on and needs. However, there might be times where you have to explain something as to what happened to the judge on timing, like going on here, where the only way it could have been explained is what your client told you. So now the lawyer's in a tough spot. He's trying to make sure he doesn't tell the judge what
I should
his
come in
client
through the
said,
bottom.
but he kind of
That's what I
needs
should
to
do.
tell the judge what the client said. So you got a lawyer who's actually.
I was going through the top, but I should really go through the bottom.
Where the got to figure out a way to word this that doesn't feel attorney-client privilege.
I think I'm about to beat level 2 right now.
Hey, I'm not involved. There's a reason why there was a delay in this.
To go and see. At that moment,
Why would I modify it after you've had 6 weeks to modify it?
Your Honor, I was instructed to do it by my client.
Where's your client? I instructed him to be here today. Where is he? Not to issue bench warrant. Where is he?
Doesn't know.
Okay.
Explain.
You may not. I'm asking where the client is. You don't know.
Your Honor, if I may explain. When called and reported, the court advised that we have an emergency hearing scheduled for this.
Yeah, you're right.
This guy's kind of a pain.
I advised my client of emergency hearing on a status. The emergency hearing on a status.
That he was ordered to appear at.
Your Honor, I didn't. By the time I got the order, I was driving on speaking.
I understand you did it late in the day, and I did it late in the day.
By the time I got the order and tried to reach out to him, I could not reach out. I could not contact him.
Why don't you contact him right now and see where he is?
All right, if I can, the judge has a right to be upset. Now, I don't know the whole detail because the judge and lawyer disagree, but you know how many different cases he has? You know how hard it is to schedule an emergency hearing because they're so overwhelmed? So he schedules an emergency hearing and says the client has to be here. The client's not there. Does the client matter? Usually not in most situations. This could have just been if you're going to make me interrupt my really, really busy schedule, you're going to show that you, client, care enough to be here. So I don't know what's going on, but because I have some criticisms along the way, let's understand that these judges are overwhelmed with cases. We usually don't have enough judges for the amount of cases that have to be moved through the system.
Let's go.
Create this hearing is not a simple thing. You see all the lawyers around here, all lawyers around here, they all had to create time too in their busy calendar. So a lot goes on for an emergency hearing that's in person, that's happening here. And he said, I want your client here, your client's not here. He's got a right to be annoyed in most situations.
I'd like an address where he is because I'm about to send out the constable.
I don't get the get him, Judge. Can we just roll back what we already know here? His own lawyer has said I was not able to reach him because this was just set yesterday. The judge's like, well, you're the ones who asked her to be set yesterday. Yeah, Judge, I know. But if I find out at 5 o'clock that I have a 9 a.m. hearing, there's a chance I will not connect with my client, even though I asked for it. Why is the client already going after the party? Who might not even know he's missing anything? What does that mean, get him, Judge? That could be you. How would you like to be held in contempt of court for something you didn't even know you were supposed to do? And then we write, get him, Judge. Who's writing these things?
Get him, Judge.
That's murder. You can't say it's a judge's murder. You can say you guess that. You do not know. It's murder. It's been alleged by people that it's murder account, but I do not even allege the allegation. I am not in any way involved in the allegations being made by people on screen as to who wrote that. Someone is a fan of this judge, who in this moment, you have a right to be a fan of him generally, but get him judged for the person who doesn't even know they're missing the hearing, and you want the person to be held in contempt and have a bench warrant, and then potentially they get pulled over for speeding, and now they're in jail, and they didn't even know they missed anything, and that's you, get him judged? Like, what? This is why I am not agreeing with who I should go. I know they're doing anything.
Hey.
I just want to be clear, they don't even think that they're just making up. They're not saying it's fact. It is not fact. It is just
It's all about shit show.
This man's gonna issue a bench warrant for someone he knows doesn't even know about the hearing. You think you're safe?
Email and text messages.
When did you send the last email to me?
Alright,
Interestingly, that's actually attorney-client privilege. It's the one I sent the email. But the judge kind of wants to know because otherwise you're going to issue this warrant. Again, this is where it gets a little
I'll be
complicated.
here about 5 o'clock this morning.
Why don't you show me that email?
Definitely attorney-client privilege.
Rose, frankly, I don't believe a word you're telling this.
This is about to get really interesting.
What? He's trying to show you the email.
Ready to waive attorney-client privilege. He knows if he sent that email at 5 in the morning, we're all about to find. What do you guys think right now? Because I'm so conflicted on whether he's about to find this email and show the judge he's wrong, or whether the judge knows this guy in a way we don't, and knows the lawyer might not be known. This is a big moment. I don't know about you guys, but my suspense is building. Man, he's scrolling through a lot of emails since 5 in the morning.
Deputy, find out who's in my right now, please.
How many emails could you have since 5 in the morning you would have to scroll that much?
Correction, the latest emails that was at 7:24 a.m. this morning.
Oh, Oh, look at that, the man, look at that, 7:24 in the AM. I have no idea what he was doing for all time. 7:24. Judge, you don't believe me? How you like it now? I'm in the mix. All right, let's see what happens.
Okay. And your client doesn't want to respond to this case?
I've seen the email that got sent at 7:24 in the morning.
Does your client want to prosecute this case anymore, or should I dismiss it?
No, yes, he does, Your Honor. He does want to prosecute the matter.
Where is he?
I have no idea where he
Go
is.
find him right now.
Excuse-
Yes? Mr. Rhodes, any luck?
No, Your Honor. No luck in contacting him.
I want you guys to know something. Generally, parties are not required to be at most hearings. Your lawyer is there on your behalf. So I'm not saying that considering you asked for emergency hearing, there's no space for this. So I'm not being critical. I just want you guys to know this is kind of an odd situation. You called the lawyer a liar. That's what you did. The judge just said, I don't believe a word you're saying in this court. And then, oh, look, just like I said, and there was no, I'm sorry that I doubted you. I'm sorry I said on the record that this court does not believe a word you're saying, when it turns out you're telling me the truth. And now it's just, all right, I don't care that I called.
Mr. Rhodes
Yeah.
says that Ernst contacted
That's
the
true.
lawyer, who advised that he was in Port Arthur, and also provided me with another number. I tried to contact that number.
This judge is crazy.
And it just goes straight to actually the kind of voicemail says that's
It's clear to me your client doesn't want to prosecute this case. Why didn't you appear for 6 weeks?
Before we answer that, we know from what he has implied, his client asked him yesterday to set an emergency hearing to prosecute the case. We know if we believe the lawyer, and so far he's the one with credibility, that he hasn't been able to reach the client since that time. So the client didn't know he had to be there. Now, maybe for the 6 weeks before this, he didn't want to prosecute the case, but we haven't seen that yet. So let's see what the
And then
judge
you
has to
appeared
say.
last week on Friday. You didn't appear yesterday, and now again this morning you're requesting emergency relief from this court.
Actually, Your Honor, as I mentioned earlier, I did not appear yesterday because the hearing was not on my calendar. When as directed by my client to see if there was availability to have an emergency hearing, not today, but later next week.
Well, you're not getting anything later next week. I promise you that.
You understand, Your Honor.
If you just asked for emergency hearing, and I'm ready to go, and all these other people are here, so I'm not giving you another chance later this week. So the courts are overwhelmed too.
Going to have a hearing this morning, and I advised the court that you were not seeking a hearing to seek relief for today.
Well, but that was after you requested relief from my clerk. And she reached out to me late yesterday.
This guy's so annoying. I hate this judge.
You want your client to answer. You want your client to get on the phone. It all happened very quickly, so I'm not blaming the lawyer, but I once showed up for a small thing and the client needed
judge
to be
is, like,
there.
so whiny. I can't stand him.
But there's sometimes you really wish you could reach that client.
Tell me what I do to make this right for everybody else in this courtroom that has spent their time and money this morning.
Don't have any suggestions.
Fair question. All these other lawyers being paid a huge amount of money by the hour probably to be there on an emergency basis. Now they waited all morning. Now if you don't have an answer as to how to make it right, what's the judge going to do? Now I do have an answer. There's two answers. One is very expensive, so you're probably not going to suggest it. Your Honor, I apologize for the inconvenience. We know there's some cost to the other side. We are willing to accept the responsibility for those costs because that was our doing. We accept that we're usually not a reasonable way forward.
Yeah.
In cases large.
Just can afford
For
that.
Another thing you can say is, honestly, I am sorry, Your Honor. I don't have an excuse. I understand the inconvenience that was created for everyone here. We think the merits of the case are more important than the impact on the attorneys and parties, even though we respect it and apologize for it. And we've asked the substance of the case, the merits of the case, be allowed to move forward so justice is done as opposed to what's most convenient here today for all of us. It's easy for me to say because I don't have a judge buried down on me who's giving me a hard time. But if you say to the judge, I don't have an answer, you make it a little easier for the judge to potentially go, all right, well, here's my answer. Peace out. There's no more case.
All right. Well, I do. You're going to pay sanctions in the amount of $5,000. Yeah.
Number one, who's paying sanctions? The client or the attorney? Because the attorney is representing the client. So are you actually making the attorney pay sanctions because the client wasn't there? Because that's not generally how it works. Are you sanctioning the client who didn't even know he was supposed to be there? Are they jointly sanctioned? And by the way, get out of my courtroom. This is not a reality TV show. You are a judge. To say, get out of my court, absolutely does not live up to the way we should act
Yeah.
here on this.
It seems very rude.
Send it to the ICU.
Yeah, get out of my courtroom. Like it's some sort of reality TV show. This is the problem with electing judges too, because you may sit there as a voter, and go, yeah, get him, judge, get him, judge. These judges are deciding lives hang in the balance. There is a time to be that way, and there's a time to be above it. If you were ever in a courtroom, I guarantee you, win, lose, or draw, you want to think the process was fair and not something that was a show for voters. Get out of my courtroom. What? Get off my island. Get off the stage. No, this is a court. Show respect for what you're a part of. Get out of my courtroom.
And those sanctions are payable by you directly, not your client. I will sanction him directly in the future.
That's great. $5,000 because my client asked me to do something on an emergency basis. I did it on an emergency basis. My client didn't show. Now I'm responsible. Look at it from the lawyer's standpoint. He got a call the day before going, I need you to do it, right? By the way, everyone thinks, oh, lawyers are paid, lawyers are paid. Some are, but many lawyers are just getting by. So a $5,000 sanction over a hearing like this is a really big deal. I do get the other side of it. I do. That $5,000, where's it going to go? If it goes to the other parties and help them offset their costs. Their thing is, was there really $5,000 of money spent for that day? I don't know. What was the purpose? It wasn't explained. Not a huge fan of the way it was done.
You'll on the 8:30 docket. Have a seat, relax.
The 8:30 docket is still there. Then that would suggest that we went out off the record for hours and hours. You just gave $5,000 for an admitted inconvenience, on your cost his part, but it doesn't sound like it wrecked an entire morning. So then he issued a bench warrant for the person he knows knew nothing about it. He doesn't do while the lawyer is still there to give him the opportunity to actually argue that point. So he just made a ruling after people left the courtroom. Which you can do if you take something under advisement. We never saw him take it under advisement. He just decided, you know what? I haven't shown power here enough today. Let me go do this as well. By the way, be careful what you wish for. This is how you want judges to act.
To the last clip we just watched, what do you think about the fact that just
Ooh, all right.
days ago, that judge posted that entire YouTube video just watched to his own personal Facebook?
So, all right.
This is the problem with judicial election. When we vote for president, how much of our electorate is truly informed on what they're voting for? So how likely are we to be informed on our judges? But judges have the right to want to get reelected if they think they're doing a good job.
I'm almost to getting the length up. So let's just play again. I don't need more. Oh, can I can just go back to the lobby now, right? Oh no, but when I go back to the lobby, I don't collect the. Okay, let's see. 4,700. Okay, 4,800. Back to lobby. Oh, but then I lose the money that I just got. Okay, so it doesn't work. I have to sit there and wait for it, which is annoying. All I want is that. All I want is to. I should stop. I need to stop filling up the gas so high. The gas is filled up too high right now. You know. Like, if there was less gas in it, I would be better off. I actually want less gas.
I have a jury in the box. Let's come up here and have your hearing.
By the way, that is tough. When you're
It's like now I have to wait and wait and wait, but I should have the gas run out quicker.
And you have other things going on, and you do have to move them. Is it a trade-off? Yeah, because someone put together an entire thing that matters a lot to their client, their case, and they're trying to present it. Again, it's because we don't have enough judges.
Too much gas.
Money towards the judicial system. So we end up in a situation where either a bunch of people who are missing work because they're on a jury have to lose more time. That's bad. Or someone has a case they have to.
All right. Well, there we go. Skip. All right. We want this length, and I guess we can increase power as well. Why not?
She'll next hearing for that, all right? I've seen the motion to turn to a big one. They were filed at the same time. I guess he's noticed.
I can't respond. And this is the portion of the joint venture agreement where SNCP.
Yeah, the judge that hates lawyers, hates everybody in the whole courtroom. He's basically a bastard.
And Judge, I mean, we have an overlapping issue in these two cases.
They don't seem to be that overlapping to me.
Well, we have the same.
You want to go to Jefferson County because you won Jefferson County jury.
Judge, we're the defendants in the case. We're the plaintiffs. We haven't filed either one of these cases. They have this
We
case.
debate minutes tonight.
All right, I've been in front of many judges. First of all, it's absolutely true that if someone files a lawsuit against disagree, and you may be right. I don't know the merits of the case, but you're wasting my time here, and I think we should be over here. And it's going to cost us way more. And witnesses are going to testify in 2 trials, and we can get verdicts that don't even make sense together in 2 trials. I'm not wasting your time. I'm here to fight. You don't have to agree with me, Your Honor, but you're wasting my time. It's such a look at me on the soapbox, and I will tell you, I've been.
Alright, power. The power's high enough. It just takes a while. Maybe I should stop now.
Job for her client.
Should I reset now?
Jeff, you have briefly responded.
I'm not. This hearing is done.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's reset.
Bench now.
And he was in such a hurry to be.
Yeah, and it added 31, so now I have 46, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's just push up the multiplier. I don't think I need the gas tank up. Alright, I want the multiplier up.
Okay, in a boxing match, half the boxers are going to lose.
Or no, do I want the servo up? I guess I want both eventually. Let's get the multiplier first.
You have the right to put forward your best argument and lose and not be sanctioned for it. Right now, there's sanctions in here. Get her out of my bench. This is your
Okay, let's do it.
Everyone over there right now, go ahead. You can put in the comments. Go ahead. I hear you. I hear you. You know what, Mark? We need judges who are matter of fact and bold. Okay, wait till it's you. Wait till it's you and you want someone who will not pick a side. Okay? You cheer for a team. You expect the referees, the umpires, the people involved to have zero bias and do things the right way. That's what you expect. Not get mad and
Skip.
sanction people because
All right.
doesn't agree or not be willing to hear.
So a little more fuel will be helpful.
No, you may not. This hearing is over. Jesus Christ, these people today.
Wow.
Steps.
Size,
You're
Power.
about to be cuffed.
length.
Been trying cases for about 30 years. And all that time. And
Power,
all the judges,
size,
the temperaments,
fuel.
all the background. That stuff straight out of the movie. You're about to speak up. Well, I don't see what happened. I don't hear anything that happened. But it appears this judge really must like the power of being a judge. And I think that's concerning. And yet someone's posted this thing as a good thing. I probably came across this really harsh about someone who did it. I recognize it's hard to be a judge. I recognize these judges are overworked and overwhelmed. I recognize they have to balance a lot of different things in the system.
I just want to push the bricks in.
I get out of my courtroom. You're about to be caught. Sanction. To me, it's about more than just getting the call right. That's important. Whether you got the call right or not. It's about how you act, and I think that you should.
All right, I think we're good here.
Now, here's my question.
All right.
Do you guys like hearing my take on this judge? The people behind the scenes say we have way more clips.
One,
So if you want
two,
to hear me talk more about something this judge said, or if you want to see me talk about some other
one,
judges said, by the
two,
way, right
one.
over here, check it out, right here, YouTube screaming at you.
Yeah.
If
Oh
you
yeah,
like
I don't have
this,
money for this.
check this out as well. Miles and White Ball Team, let us know, and we'll see you next time.
1, 2, 1. All right, I guess we're done.
That's for your benefit. Yes, sir. Your Honor, I'll make you telling the jury I'm not prepared to provide benefit, but thank you.
How are we doing on that paper? Yours is due by the 28th of April.
I mean, where have we reached when the judge came out home with the sign of the lawyer? How are they?
Well,
Okay, let us break I've seen the deal. This is the best start that I've seen in a long time, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
He's the fifth on how old he is. Make sense.
Get important when I fight for people, and so I love the opportunity to comment on anything you guys love to hear. And today is a trial I have not watched 1 minute of, but I've heard about since beforehand. The Young Thug Rico trial. We're going to get into it now. For those of you who keep watching these, just know we really appreciate it. And we're about to set records up in here on our way to 100,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, I don't want you to feel like how come everyone's doing it and I'm not, but everyone's subscribing and you're not. So please go ahead and subscribe. All of us, please comment. I love to
All
hear
right,
what you
Skip.
wanna hear.
We got it. We got it.
I love it. It really
Ah.
helps me better serve you. We have a RICO trial here.
What if I?
It's
No,
a
I
RICO
can't. I can't
trial.
give up yet.
It's basically a federal,
If you don't want to,
federal statute.
going too slow.
Conspiracy statute. So, in
All right, let's just add some power.
because you got so many people being tried as co-conspirators for what happened.
Yeah, we did not.
We're arguing now slow. So can we stop at this point in time?
Yes.
You've got other evidence. You have other evidence. Independent of this, I'll consider it the appropriate time.
And we do, and that is what I was asking. So if the court will permit me to actually introduce the evidence that we have, a suspect will ask for a lawyer at any time during a custodial interrogation may not be subjected to further questioning. As the court has said, by law enforcement until an attorney has been made available or until the suspect reinitiates the conversation. There, Your Honor, at some point, Your Honor, at some point, he interrupted. Speaking. I'm sorry, I'm speaking.
Who is off camera doing the judge's job, telling them they can't talk at the same time? That's a real, the bailiff, that is a really odd relationship the judge has with the judge's bailiff, because if the judge doesn't want them speaking over each other, it is the judge's courtroom, and the judge has every opportunity to tell them not to speak over each other. And it is true that she was mid-sentence and got interrupted. And then he just kept trying to bulldoze over her, and of course she didn't take it. At that point, that's usually something I would see the judge speak up. Usually you wouldn't see the lawyer coming in. People try to jump in all the time. Not all the time, but it can happen. If the person that started speaking is still going, normally you think you would allow them to finish, or the judge would say, I've heard enough. I understand your argument. Let me hear it from you. If the judge didn't let them both speak over each other, which is unusual, I'm surprised that the judge had the...
All right, I don't think I need more gas than this. I don't want a crazy amount of gas.
It's truly surprising. Well, I'll see a lot more from the judge, and the judge is...
The less gas I have, the faster I can collect my money.
Right? It's just an odd thing for the bailiff to start telling the lawyers that they need to stop talking together.
When I'm speaking.
I hope you all need to just take it down.
And so, Your Honor, if I may finish, because I was the one speaking before Mr. Weinstein. And
It's not like you continually engage in this pattern of behavior as well. You don't want to accept my rule. I know you made it happen, but at some point, stop. Just stop. Take my ruling. That listen to you. You don't listen, you don't listen.
I do accept.
Okay, no, you don't.
So now we get more context behind it. I still think it would be the judge to jump in, but the judge thinks that this has been a never-ending deal. And at some point... agree with the judge. No judge is going to get
Hello?
a trial this big. No judge. 100%.
Hey, Dad, how's it going?
They make so many...
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Talking to myself. Not sure if I'm gonna go to this party or not on Sunday. Alright. Alright, so did I win? I won, right? Now I'm starting over again on this level. How am I doing on my P? Oh, I have 26p now. It's enough to get another thing. I should probably get either the discount or the bonus. Let's get the discount. Alright. Everything's cheap as dirt now. So let's just get like a bunch of these and one of these and one of these and one of these. And we'll get two of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. And now we'll get I think two of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. Okay, we're almost out of this. I think power is more important than size. Let's get like 1, 2, 3 powers, some size, another power and size, and a bit of fuel. I don't want to overdo it with the fuel. I find that like having too much fuel actually just annoys me. I'd rather just collect a bunch of money and then spend it. Just restart to collect more money. Did I just win? Am I about to win this thing? Nope, not quite. We're almost there though. Oh no, oh, I did win. Wow, alright. In that case, let's just collect the rest of this money here. Guess that's the price of getting the extra P stuff and getting those bonuses, getting those P bonuses. Wow, that was fast. Oh, right, trial lawyer talking about stuff.
Please on the spot. They don't have the time to go research.
Wow, I've been recording for 50 minutes. Let's end here. That's all, folks. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Save recent game. Stop recording.